My name's Tom, I'm 21 and for the past year I've been a digital apprentice at the partnership. I did my GCSEs when I was at school, still had no idea what I wanted to do, so I did my A-levels, still had no idea what I wanted to do. So I went to university for 1 year, studied sports journalism at South Staffs University. Didn't enjoy that, which is sort of a part of the course really. Yeah, didn't enjoy that, came back, took a year out just sort of working, just trying to find something that I wanted to do, or that was something that was fresh and that was completely different. And I stumbled upon an advert for this apprenticeship. I wanted to try my hand at an apprenticeship because when you finish your A-levels, you've got a couple of options. You've got university, full-time work, or an apprenticeship. They're sort of the main three sort of routes that people go down. I tried university and I didn't get on with it. I tried full-time work and there was no sort of career progression, there wasn't anything there for me. And I'd heard a lot of good things about apprenticeships and sort of the sort of pros that you get and positives that you get from sort of a full working week and working 5 days and doing client work, actual work, as opposed to sitting in a lecture theatre listening to someone else talk. I'd heard a lot of the positives about that and I sort of wanted to just try that for myself. The reason why I took this apprenticeship was because I was at a time where I just wanted something different and I needed something completely fresh and something I could really get stuck into. And I'd never done any sort of digital design or web design or anything of this sort of calibre, and certainly not like working for sort of big clients. So when the opportunity came to sort of really sort of indulge myself in something that was, I don't know, sort of as close to full-time work, real work as I'd ever get, then I thought I really wanted to sort of go for it. I saw an advert in the Metro, the Creative Pioneers advert, which was sort of advertising to young people who weren't sure what direction they wanted to go in or weren't sure of how to get a foot in the industry that they wanted to go in. So I applied through that, and there were a couple of different stages. One stage was I had to sort of film myself, like send them a video of myself doing something creative or something a little bit different. And then after that, it was sort of like an interview process where I sort of went on a day with a couple of other apprentices or people sort of aspiring apprentices, and did some activities, some group activities, answered some questions, and they sort of assessed where we were and then sent our responses to the questions and our sort of VTs, our videos, off to the employers that we'd applied for. The VTs, you sort of filmed yourself at your own leisure. It wasn't compulsory, it was sort of, if you wanted to do it, great, sort of a bit of, hold you in good stead, a bit of brownie points for the sort of prospective employers. But the days where I met with other apprentices, that was at the Creative Alliance in Birmingham. So the guys here saw the video, saw my responses on those sort of apprenticeship days, and said that sort of offered me in for an interview, and the rest is history, I guess. Creative Alliance have helped me a lot throughout this process. Really, they've been quite positive and encouraging to sort of people who are the apprentices, because it takes you from a world where you're not working 5 days a week or where you're not doing sort of high profile client work to one where you are. And in my case, it was in an industry where I'd never been before, doing work that I'd never even thought of doing. In my first month here, I was sort of pushed onto a web design, like a web build project, which is something that I thought I didn't even think I'd do a web build throughout the entire apprenticeship, let alone the first month. So they were really encouraging and sort of, helped me a lot, especially as well in the terms of the actual, the pathways that we're doing, the sort of actual qualification. Within the first 3 months that I was here, they put on these sort of apprenticeship days where we could go and, I think it was on Thursdays, and we'd go from 9 till 5 or whatever it was, and we'd sort of fill in like answers for the pathway. So we'd sort of take a sort of day at the office, but we'd be doing getting quite a good head start on our qualification. In this apprenticeship, sort of qualification involves sort of evidence. So my assessor will come in on some days, and he'll sort of just sit there, record me doing what I'm doing the work for the partnership, and he'll take his evidence from that. I'm ended up with a level 3 qualification in creative and digital media, so perfect for this. And after this, they offer a level 4 Creative Alliance do, which I've put it to the guy at the board here, and they seem happy to sort of enrol me on that as well. The reason why I wanted to work in the creative sector, it was just something a little bit different. It was something you never really get exposed to it I didn't get exposed to it through my A-levels and GCSEs, through the subjects that you get taught and the subjects that they sort of not push on you, but the subjects that you sort of, the mainstream subjects, there's never any sort of digital design or creative. I mean, you do art and you do IT, but IT is nothing like what sort of the digital design is. It doesn't even give you an insight. So it was something completely different, and I thought I could try my hand at it. So when I started the apprenticeship, I think at the end I just wanted a job. I just wanted some sort of full-time employment in sort of a technical industry, and which this sort of creative industry clearly is quite technical. So that's all I was really hoping for, just some sort of, I don't know, some sort of to get on the first rung of that ladder. I've always wanted to work abroad, work in Europe. So I guess get a couple more years, well, a fair few more years experience, and then hopefully try and I don't know, move out to a digital agency in Europe. I could speak a bit of German, so hopefully I'll find myself in Germany in a few years. People who've influenced me in my career, I don't know if this is sort of a really popular or cliche answer, but I'd say my father, because he's got an incredible work ethic, and nothing's ever too much for him. And the one piece of advice he gave me for this apprenticeship was never act like it's too much for you to do anything. If someone asks you to do something, don't ever say, "Oh, I'm not sure." Just say you'll do it. If you're not sure, go away and research it and search it up, but never act like anything's too much. And I'd like to think that I never have, and I think that's been a sort of golden rule for this apprenticeship, really. Just taking on anything that comes your way and get involved in as many different things as possible. If I could give some advice to aspiring apprentices, it would be to just apply yourself. Don't sort of turn up to work and think that because you're an apprentice, it's not the same. Like, I personally, I want to be treated like every other employee. I want the responsibility, and it just, if you apply yourself and you don't just sort of completely switch off when you go home, you sort of keep on the ball, keep looking for sort of tips and tricks in whatever industry it is you're doing, then that'll be a massive helping hand to you throughout your apprenticeship. I think the lesson I've learned from this apprenticeship and my experience has been to just don't be afraid to ask the stupid questions. Don't be afraid because you think it might make you look ridiculous, or you think that other people should assume you just know the answer to that anyway. I think you should always, if you're unsure of anything, just ask, because a little bit more knowledge never hurts anyone, does it? I've never been involved with any other sort of organisations such as Creative Alliance, but to other apprentices, aspiring apprentices, I definitely would recommend Creative Alliance. I think they've been really helpful. My assessor's always, if I've even had personal questions or questions that aren't really relative to the apprenticeship, he's always been happy to answer them. He's always been prompt with they've always been prompt with their responses and their marking of the evidence, so you're never sort of backtracking or wondering where you are in the apprenticeship. So, and they're always just really quite helpful and responsive. So I'd definitely recommend Creative Alliance.